colleagues Amit Bharadwaj and Milan are now joining me on the story. Those visuals that you see on your screens are coming from various parts of the Delhi NCR. The tremors were felt across the entire northern part of the country. And those are the visuals, people going down, running, because the tremors were so high. Amit is joining me on the story. Amit, we are seeing, horrific visuals coming out, the people really being scared at the moment, and most of the people coming out of the homes. We can see a lot of children also, coming out to the parks. The place where you are standing, the people you have spoken with, do you think those people also at the moment are feeling that they need to step out?
Well, absolutely right, Aishwarya. This is the story coming from the National Capital Region in the National Capital Delhi, as well as different parts of the northern India as well. And along with that, the reason is that what we are learning, what we are given to understand, is that the epicenter of the earthquake, the strong tremors that we have felt in the national capital and the northern parts of the country, that epicenter is actually in Faizabad, Afghanistan, and the magnitude of the earthquake in the epicenter is believed to be 6.6 on the Richter scale. So this is these are very strong earthquake tremors that were felt in Afghanistan, and we are also given to understand that similar situation happened in Pakistan, India, northern part of India as well. And clearly people have stepped out of their homes. I'm in national capital right now in Delhi, where people have stepped out of their homes for the past 30 minutes, and they are roaming on the streets right now, trying to just be double sure before going back to their homes, and that is the procedure as well. That's what experts have been telling us for quite some time, and especially, in case of the National Capital Region, what has happened is that earthquake tremors have become a frequent...
Right, Amit. Amit, Shiv Arur is also joining us on this story. Shiv, we are seeing horrific visuals coming out. Most of the people stepping out, most of them really worried what will happen over the next couple of hours. In fact, in office also, Shiv, the glass which is kept on the table was really shaking very badly. Shiv.
Aishwarya, I can tell you that the large residential colony that I live in on the outskirts of Delhi was, completely evacuated. Everybody spilled out of their houses and came down. There's still a fear of aftershocks. It's very dark, but in my colony, some people are still out, outside. It's not too late, thankfully, but some people still haven't returned to their houses. But just about 20 minutes ago, everybody was downstairs. It was completely crowded downstairs. Everyone had decided to get out of their houses. Obviously, there's still a fear of aftershocks at this point of time. 6.6 is by no measure a small earthquake. The tremors were felt across the, I live on the 6th floor, and I can tell you that the entire house was shaking. The beds were shaking, the furniture was shaking. It's one of the most intense tremors, certainly, that I've ever felt. And clearly, I'm not the only one, because, the images coming in from across large parts of North India still suggest that these were shockwaves felt by pretty much everyone. 6.6 on the Richter scale in the Hindu Kush region means that the damage in and around that area would be pretty bad. I do know for a fact, from government sources, that India's humanitarian relief agencies are already on standby for any requisition that may come in from the northern states, including, of course, Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, etc. So everything is on standby right now. It's a precarious situation. The last time big tremors happened was just a few weeks ago. There have been quite a few tremors, off and on in the National Capital Region, just so far, just the last 3 months of 2023. And there are expected to be more. All of the experts we're speaking to say expect many more of these for the rest of the year. So a big one, 6.6 on the Richter scale.
Right, Shiv. Also I believe a lot of people at the moment are fearing the fact, looking at what has happened over the past couple of months. So that's also is something which is in the minds of the people. That's the reason why we are seeing across, the entire NCR region, people just rushed out. We saw most of the people making calls, and even in our office, Shiv, we could actually see a lot of things shaking, especially the glasses, all those things which were kept here. Let me tell you, in our office here in India today, also a lot of people had stepped out. The tremors were, so severe, Shiv.
That's right. The India Today Mediaplex, Aishwarya, as many of our viewers might know, is, has been purpose-built to be earthquake-proof. But that cannot be said for many buildings in NCR. So, there are experts who believe that if you have an earthquake, which is very possible in the NCR region, where the epicenter is not very far away, the damage could be pretty devastating. So far, the National Capital Region, you've seen fans shaking, you've seen beds shaking, you've seen, windows rattling, that kind of thing. But nothing, nothing more intense than that. There hasn't been any grave damage done as far as earthquakes are concerned in the national capital region. But as expert after expert has been saying, that could change at any point of time. It's going to be very difficult to predict, even though they appear to be unanimous that it's probably only a matter of time before a reasonably intense earthquake does strike the national capital region. But the aftershocks can always bring their own damage. I think the world and many of us here in India, most of us here in India, have those images from Turkey very fresh in our minds. So the damage and devastation possible from an earthquake is something that's very near to us. It's something that in our immediate memory. We've seen the devastation in Turkey, the huge loss of property and life in that country, and therefore earthquakes bring with them that kind of trauma already. But let's hope that we don't see too many of these in the near future here in Delhi. It's going to have to be a huge number of policy changes in the national capital region, especially to make our cities more earthquake proof, because these are embedded issues.